Thursday, but we've got a lot of work come Friday morning. Thank you.
Just a few things in terms of what's happening over the next couple of days. So tomorrow and Thursday, election day, there is a strike at Milton Academy. If anybody would like to come for the ticket line, that runs from 7:30 to 9 o'clock in the morning. And the staff there are on strike because of safety concerns for students and teachers in the school, because of a lack of resources. And the failure of the school to tackle those questions. So it's a very important issue for those members of the National Education Union. And there are also GMB members on strike at the Job Centre if you're in town. They're on strike tomorrow, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. And the junior doctors don't have a picket line. But also tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock at the Venue, we've organised a local community march for Palestine. You'll see some of the posters here. Both to oppose the genocide in Gaza, but also to oppose the cuts that are taking place in our local communities. And we'd invite everyone to come to the Venue at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. It's a community march, so it'll be through the streets of Newtown. Then we'll have a rally at the Venue to end the evening. And everyone there is very welcome. Everyone here is very welcome. Come along, bring your family, bring your friends. And then on election day, we're going to be out on the streets all day long. So we're going to try and have campaign stalls in town and in Bevis where we've been very active recently. So if you've left your details, we will post that information for you. And if you'd like to come along, then just message us back. Let us know when you're free. Let us know when you can take part. I'm going to finish Thursday evening with a socialist picnic. We need to finalise where we're going to do that. Again, we'll let you know. And that's just an opportunity for us all to have a quiet evening, obviously before you all go home to watch the results on the telly. And then on Saturday, we have our regular campaign stall at the Bargate by the Poundland shop by the Bargate in town from 11 to 1 o'clock. And if you want to be a campaigner, come and join us. It's a lot of fun talking to people about their concerns and about what we're going to try to do to change things. So there's lots going on. Don't be shy about coming along to further meetings or getting active. If you want to talk to Catherine or Maureen about joining this evening, then you can all sign up and be part of this campaign and get active yourself. So I think that's all the announcements for tonight.
Anybody want to make it that much? Yes, well, I'm just going to talk to death.
We clearly need a treasurer.
Yeah.
No, thanks again everyone for coming. Really valid and interesting points made. I wanted to come back a little bit on what you said actually, because it's a very important point. Not that everyone else's was not important, but I think in order for us to get across what Tusk is about, the way we stand as a coalition is that everyone who stands, whether it's local elections, general elections, whatever elections, we stand on the principles of points, the minimum upon which we will stand. The most important being no cuts. So you get a Tusk candidate in the council, we'll guarantee that Tusk candidate will not vote for any cuts. We've been active in the city. I think it was mentioned earlier about St Mary's Leisure Centre. Prior to that, we were involved in Oakland's Pool that our great councillor Keith Burrell over there was part of. We've always stood against cuts wherever they are, and we will always do that. And I know the comrades here did amazing work to keep the venue open. I know, for example, that Labour were committed to closing the Leisure Centre. It was only the pressure of the community coming out with us that forced them into the decision to keep open. And by the way, that battle's not over. I believe that there's some proposals coming that may look to sort of water down the public running of it. But that's the important thing for me. Standing for Tusk means you're standing on certain principles. That's not to say you're held to those. You can go above them and further if you wish. So, as I was trying to say earlier, I won't keep you too long because I know there's children here who are getting quite late. The point we're getting across all the time is, as a trade unionist, I stand for the principles of any kind of division. I will always stand against. Workers together, regardless of race, gender, anything, working class, we stand with, and we will always fight for, and in defence of those people, especially the minorities. Nick mentioned earlier, I think it's important to point out, the GMB workers who've been out on strike, who are the security workers over at the job centre, they work for a company called G4S. I'm sure everyone has heard of G4S. It's the biggest security company in the world, if not one of them. They are charging the job centre £50,000 a year for each one of their security guards. Those security guards are on minimum wage, so they're getting less than half of what G4S is getting for them being there. And they're also forced to pay for their own training and their own accreditation, which anyone who knows anything about security, you have to redo your accreditation every few years. That to me is unacceptable, but that is the reality of privatisation and outsourcing within public sector. That's why it's important. Nationalisation has to be part of it, because huge amounts of funds are taken out of our public services year on year through privatisation. Comrades will know now by Care UK, complete private company. In the years that they've been basically given to run it, they've shut down all the services they offer. You can't even get an X-ray in that hospital anymore, as I found out when I hurt my leg a little while ago. This is the reality of what the hiving off of public sector and public services mean. We stand against that. We stand for the privatisation. It does look like we're going to have a Labour government on Thursday. But that's, I mean, workers aren't waiting, are they? We've talked here tonight about GMB workers, the teachers out tomorrow, the union doctors have been on strike. They're not waiting for a Labour government to sort out their problems, because I think they actually know that they're not going to. And I think when the Labour government is in place, it's incumbent upon us to fight against them and keep putting that political alternative forward.